Can Nano Nuclear Energy Inc. skyrocket and provide life-changing returns? It already has been skyrocketing. Over the last month, it literally has gone up 200%. Let's see if it can continue, though. Let's dive into what is going on with this company and the truth about it, right? So this is their development strategy. It's focused on 4 business lines, including nuclear microreactors, obviously extremely revolutionary. We know artificial intelligence is going to be powered by small modular reactors. We know ships and spacecraft are going to be powered by micro reactors, by tiny nuclear reactors, right? So that's the business they want to be in, a huge growth early stage industry. Nuclear fuel fabrication, nuclear fuel transportation, nuclear consultation services. So this is similar to NuScale, right? What we're doing in this video is also comparing it to Oklo and NuScale. Those are its primary competitors. Let's see if Nano Nuclear can compete, right? But this is how they see their business. Nano microreactors are going to be powering mining projects, space exploration, data centers and AI, crypto mining, disaster relief areas, water desalination, shipping industry, military bases. So the identical business model to NuScale and Oklo, right? So they have the Zeus solid core battery reactor. It's currently being developed. And then they have the Odin low pressure coolant reactor. So 2 different models. At this point, though, they're just in the design phase. Let's see how early stage this company actually is, right? So through the end of 2024, they expect to complete reactor computer modeling, external reactor validation audit, and design finalization. So they really expect to be finished with the design by 2025. Then from 2025 into 2027, they expect to be constructing their facilities and testing their reactor. Then halfway through 2027, they expect deployment, right? So we're extremely early with this asset, right? We have to wait years for them to generate any significant revenue. So, right. So at this point, very high risk, potentially high reward if by 2027 they can start generating a whole bunch of contracts, a whole bunch of customers, a whole bunch of demand. If that's possible, then this thing can absolutely continue to skyrocket, right? But we do have to wait a long time to see that play out. In the meantime, how is this company generating any cash? Let's look at their financials. Unfortunately, though, on their website, quarterly results, more information coming soon, recent reports, more information coming soon. So they haven't really reported any financials that you can find on the internet. The last balance sheet we can look at goes back to September 2023, about a year ago, probably when they were about to go public. This is the balance sheet they had. Total assets, 7.2 million. Total liabilities, 225 million. So net assets of 7 million. That's clean, right? That seems like a lot, but it's not a lot compared to their massive market cap. So right now the market cap, which is the price to buy the company, is $700 million. So think like a billionaire when investing, right? If you're Jeff Bezos and you have $700 million to buy this company, would you? What would you be getting with that? Well, a year ago, they only had $7 million on their balance sheet. What do they have now? Well, here's what they've been doing to generate cash to fund their operations. Nano Nuclear Energy announces closing of upsized $36 million underwritten offering. So they are diluting their shareholders by selling shares into the market. So that is their only source of cash at this point. Dump shares on the market, dilute their current shareholders, because the more shares they sell into the market, the less your shares are worth, right? So the only way that can work is if this money can be put to good use and actually generate a return on investment, right? But in the meantime, up until the point where they actually start generating revenue, which could be years at this point, seems like they're just going to have to keep diluting their shareholders, right? So they raised $36 million in July 2024. This offering follows Nano Nuclear's initial public offering, which closed on May 2024, and its underwritten follow-on offering, which closed on July 15, 2024, from which Nano Nuclear received total gross proceeds of over $30 million. So this company is flush with cash at this point. They're going to try to reinvest that cash and get a real return on investment. The market is allowing them to do that because the price of this stock is skyrocketing, right? So as long as the price keeps skyrocketing, they can keep issuing shares and keep raising money. So the big risk is whether or not they can actually generate a return on investment. If they invest this money and actually can create a real small modular reactor that is adopted by AI data centers and space explorers and ships and desalination plants, then it can work. If not, then they're going to be in a vicious doom loop of raising capital, stock price goes down, they run out of the ability to raise more capital, and the stock can go bankrupt. So that's the worst case scenario, right? The best case scenario is they get a real return on investment. The point here is that there's an extreme risk reward ratio here, right? We don't know if they're going to be successful. We have to hope they're going to be successful. But this thing could spiral to zero if they don't give concrete results, right? So if you're buying this company at a $700 million market cap, you are expecting them fully to be successful, right? They've raised probably over $100 million at this point. So they do have cash to work with. The question is, will they have to keep diluting their shareholders, selling shares into the market? It is an extremely risky stock. $100 million most likely isn't going to get them where they need to go. So they're going to have to keep on diluting their shareholders, right? As long as the price keeps going up, again, they have the ability to sell shares and raise cash. But if the price starts going down, they could enter that doom loop phase, right? So it'll be very interesting. This company has to deliver. It's richly valued. It's pre-revenue. So you're taking a massive risk on this company. I would say it's more risky than Oklo, more risky than NewScale. Those two are way further along, right? NewScale has government approvals of its technology. It's not in the design phase. NewScale has massive partnerships. Oklo also has proven partnerships and a world-class board. It has Sam Altman on the board of directors, right? Oklo raised $300 million of cash. They have more capital than this, and they say they have enough capital to get it to production. So this one's most likely going to underperform those two in the short term, as it has to keep selling shares to raise capital, right? The other ones have way more cash on hand, which means way less dilution for the shareholders. They're all risky. This one is riskier than those two by far because it is less going for it, right? Again, it's possible they can pull it out. They have to really deliver, right? They can't just be printing money and wasting it. They have to be investing it, and we have to get a return on that investment. So at this point, you're hoping that the company can deliver, right? Now, obviously, there's plenty of hype around this space. The market hasn't even discovered these assets really yet. They're just throwing money at anything AI. That's why these assets are pumping. Can it continue? Absolutely. It's just extremely high risk. So we'll have to continue staying on top of some of these small modular reactor companies. Rolls-Royce is another one. So Nano's competing with Rolls-Royce, Oklo, NewScale, way more established players, right? At this point, it's probably a little overvalued. So can it skyrocket in the long term? Absolutely. In the short term, let's see if it can keep riding the AI hype wave. Lots of risk, lots of potential reward, but more risky than the other small modular reactor companies.